maybe he was his you are not fulfilling his requirement of pay or some benefits. Some people they just leave, do not accept. Why? Because they have kids and they want you to maintain their kids or pay their kids school fees or give them house. Maybe you are just giving them a house allowance, but they want you to pre-arrange all those stuff. Company provided house. Rather, they just come to Shanghai and look for the housing society, which turned into a nightmare. Not good neighbors and all those stuff, and it creates unnecessary burden on them. All right. If you are in this coordinate, then you need to work that whether why this person is not accepting our offer. Now, validity and reliability. Validity, how you select an employee. So what are the validity and reliability, whether through which portal or which channel you are saying that, okay, this is a valid candidate, this is a reliable candidate. So valid selection device is categorized by a proven relationship between selection device and some relevant criteria. So if you are hiring a person for an office job, how you check is validity, whether you hire a valid person or not. For example, you realize that okay, in our office mostly we use MS Excel, so it's better to have a test regarding MS Excel or PPTs on some devices, or you could just give them okay, just make a pivot table or pivot charts, right? So if he performed that, it means he's a valid person. So reliability is a step further, which is reliable selection indicates that it measures the same thing consistently, which means it's not about like some luck that he just make the pivot table. No, if you ask him again, he will perform again the same thing with the same results. So this is consistency, and this is the skills that he has. So there are selection tools, there are application forms through which you can find out okay, this person is eligible or not. You can use some programs. So for example, if you don't have master degree, so you cannot apply. Even if you click the apply button, it won't send your CV. There are some written tests which help you to find out okay, what are his personality tests, aptitude tests, skill tests, whether he passed or not, whether he's able to work in this organization or not. And then performance simulation test, right? You give them some scenarios, this kind of stuff, and then you find out okay, uh, whether he's appropriate for this role or not. And then you have a face-to-face interview. You can have a panel interview as well, simple interview as well, one-to-one interview as well. There are different kinds of interviews to find out more about the person. Normally this is done for managerial positions. And then background investigation, whether this person, where this person is coming from our competitors, and find out whether he has some criminal record over there, some bad impression over there or not. So most employees ask you character certificate or some referral from your manager, this kind of stuff. And then physical examinations, so that this person is fit, mentally fit, physically fit, so that he's not coming here to exploit our medical benefits or something. All right. So we have a case here. It's a real case. A person who has got kidney issues and he has to go to the hospital for dialysis purposes. So he just applied for a government job, and through bribery he just selected, and that's it. And all the time he is in the hospital having a dialysis on priority basis because he's a government employee. That's it. So in twice a week he is over there exploiting this opportunity, and that's it, not doing any work. So you need to well aware of this mental capability to work under pressure or not, right? Now, assessing an applicant's future job performance, that's very important. For example, you have an employee who is working with you for 5 years, is very good. So how you think that, or would you think that he will stay for another 5 years? You are not sure. And you have different openings in coming years that are coming, and you're not sure whether this person, he's very good at current position, but you don't know that whether he will fit this role or not. So you make a work sample test. Normally in organization, it is mandatory for every managerial position, or those who want to go forward in managerial positions. So they have different kind of small courses, small tests appearing in every week or maybe in every year, January. Even in Siemens, AG companies or big companies, they have this kind of test. So they always trying to assess you whether you are good for our next roles or not. So sometimes they have a hand on hand simulations of part or all of the work that workers in job routinely must perform. So one of the more reliable and valid tool for predicting future performance, it is a work sample. Sometimes they also send you some assessment center. So for example, Shanghai Electric Company workshop. And for example, they select 5% from your department and they send to a workshop over there in which they train you. They have a test and they find out, okay, only two people they got score above 80, and it means they have the potential to move forward. And if there is a job that is coming in 2 years or 1 year, then you need to hire from these two and they can replace that position, right? Now, selection process, one of the most part is the job realistic job preview. So many candidates, when they apply the job, most of them, they even don't know what kind of job we are applying. Okay, they heard from the JD job description, from the advertisement, okay, you need to perform this and that, but they don't know that in which environment they would be doing. So realistic job preview is very important when you select an employee. So he must have the idea, okay, this is the place where I need to work. Sometimes you have a test, you have a form, you have an interview, and everything is done, and you hire a person. When person come to your organizational premises and sit on his seat, and then there is a negative information, there is negative vibes, and he leave the company in 1 month or even 1 week. And then you need to go through again process step 1, step 2, step 3, which is also costly. So realistic job preview shows you how you portray the organization and the work an applicant will be doing. If the HR tells the applicants only the good aspects, and when the worker comes to the or employee come to the organization and is dissatisfied and found out the opposite stuff, then chances are that he will be gone, or he will go to the next job, he will search to the next job, he will not stay in this role. So it also creates job dissatisfaction as well if you do not provide the realistic job preview. All right. So if a person. So always you, for example, you select three candidates and only one will go to this job, and then you call all these three to the job preview and you make them sit close by, and then you make them understand, okay, you are using this computer, you need to report that person, find out that person is, according to your personality or not. Some people, they are uncomfortable to work under a female boss or under authoritative boss or under different, personalities. Some people, they don't like to work under a black person. Some people don't like to work under Hispanic person or Chinese person. So this realistic job review helps you to save tons of times after the selection process. The next thing is orientation, which means introducing new employee to his or her job and the organization. If you talk about the what is our organization is all about, what kind of products we are selling, and this is that department, this is marketing department, this is, and how your workflow goes. So there are two types of orientation. Work Number one is work unit orientation, and number two is organization orientation. So work unit orientation is in which you are working. It familiarizes the employee with the goal of work unit, clarifies how his or her job contributes, and includes an introduction to his or her co-workers. That would be your co-worker, that would be your seat. You would be performing this and that, and you need to be reporting this and that. Whereas organization orientation, it informs employees about company's goal, history, mission, vision, philosophy, culture, procedures, rules, all right? HR policies, your, mandatory leaves, your, child support stuff, pregnancy leave, sick leaves, and all those stuff, all the policies. So this orientation gonna help you increase the satisfaction of employee, because he's all of a sudden he started to familiarize with his co-workers, his peers, and he started to involve in the work more quickly. And then training, there are two types of training. After selecting, after orienting, then there is a training. Then what kind of